Hello, blithesome coders. My name is Shawn, and I will be your instructor today. In this lesson on the Coding with Shawn channel, we will explore the Python libraries that we will be utilizing later in this course. You see, everywhere, but especially in programming, it is of critical importance to understand what you are working with in both depth and detail. The libraries which I will cover in this lesson are NumPy, Pandas, matplotlib, a module of matplotlib called pyplot, and Seaborn. All of these libraries have their own specializations and proper usages, so we will discuss each one separately. So, without further ado, let's begin. Let's first classify our libraries into categories. In our first category, which is more of a math and scientific calculation-oriented category, we have NumPy and Pandas. NumPy and Pandas are among the most widely used Python libraries in data science. They provide high performance, easy to use structures and data analysis tools. However, unlike the NumPy library, which provides objects for multidimensional arrays, Pandas provides in-memory 2D table objects called data frames. Don't worry if you don't understand what a data frame is. It is simply a complex way of saying a flat table which has rows and columns, quite similar to your average Excel sheet or a standard table which you may have created before. Here is a side-by-side comparison of a Pandas data frame and a regular table. You can already see that there are a lot of similarities, but a couple of differences too. So that's all you need to know about the data frame for now. I'm sure that the comparison gives you greater insight into what a data frame truly is. Okay, enough with Pandas. Let's talk about NumPy. In very, very short words, NumPy is a package which can be utilized for scientific computing. It sounds kind of lame when said like that, but it is much more than simply a package for computing. In fact, it can be used to create things like multidimensional arrays and matrix data structures. NumPy can also be used to perform a number of mathematical operations on arrays, such as trigonometric, statistical, and algebraic routines. Last, but certainly not least, is a very important category. This category includes matplotlib and its modules, such as matplotlib.pyplot, as well as Seaborn. This category can be appropriately titled data visualization. The reason I say as such is because while our previous category, containing NumPy and Pandas, is, as we said, a calculation and more of a math-oriented category, this category is one which allows you to visualize your data in a presentable manner because it allows you to see your data in the form of a graph or a chart or a plot. This is very important. If you can do all the necessary calculations, but are unable to understand your data, then your whole data analysis attempt is a colossal failure. Matplotlib and Seaborn are what save you from failure because they allow you to truly understand your data. Rather than just staring at a table, you can actually gain significant insight from the visualizations which can be obtained from these libraries. So you've heard enough about these libraries' visualization ability. You might think to yourself, however, Shawn, if both of these libraries are used to visualize, then what is the difference between them? Well, I'm glad you asked. The first major format difference is the actual structure of both libraries. While Seaborn is a single, unified library, matplotlib consists not only of simply matplotlib, but also other modules, such as pyplot. However, matplotlib is much, much more than just that. I think matplotlib's documentation got this right on the spot, so I'll just read it to you. Quote, Pylab is a convenience module that bulk imports matplotlib.pyplot for plotting and NumPy for mathematics and working with arrays in a single namespace. I hope that was insightful, but matplotlib is huge, and we will need to talk more about it later. Now let's talk about Seaborn. Matplotlib is mainly deployed for basic plotting. Visualizations using matplotlib generally consist of bars, pies, lines, scatter plots, and so on. Seaborn, on the other hand, provides a variety of visualization patterns. It uses less syntax and has easily interesting default themes. Now, there is one incredibly important thing to understand here. Seaborn is a Python data visualization library based on matplotlib. It is not an independent library. It is based on matplotlib. It provides a high-level interface for drawing attractive and informative statistical graphics. Seaborn helps you explore and understand your data. Its plotting functions operate on data frames and arrays, which contain whole data sets, and internally perform the necessary semantic mapping and statistical aggregation to produce informative plots. Its data-oriented and rather declarative API lets you focus on what the different elements of your plots mean rather than on the details of how to draw them. So, let's conclude. We have two major categories, one for statistical analysis and math-oriented work, as well as one for visualization of the output of that work. NumPy and Pandas are the foremost among many statistical analysis libraries. Matplotlib and Seaborn, which is based on matplotlib of course, are built for data visualization. We may use more libraries occasionally, but now you have understood the most important ones. So, what do you think about these libraries? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have received some insight from this video, please like and subscribe to let me know, as well as support us, and thank you very, very much for watching. See you next time.